Hello and welcome to adding your code to an Azure function. In this video, we're going to demonstrate customizing of Azure function code directly from the portal. I'm going to show you how to test that function from the portal and finally see what it looks like when we invoke that function from a console application. Here we are again back in our Azure portal, and if we click onto the packed serverless function app and look at the functions, we have our HTTP trigger from C#. If you click directly on the functions, now notice if you drop down here, triangle, we've got integrate and manage and monitor, and we will get into those in future videos. But right now, we just want to click directly on this function, and you can see the code. Code is just a quick little function that is going to return a task and run. And some of the important parts here is that it's coming back as a task, and it's going to be using an HTTP request message named REQ. Let's go through this code very quickly. This is just the default templated function. So we're going to get the parameters from that web request, and we're going to look for a parameter that's either first or default with a key of name. Now, if it can't find one in the parameters, it'll check in the request body, and finally it will return either that it was a bad request or that it was a good request. Now, if you want to edit your function, this is the place where you will do it. And here we can change the default from hello name, just make it a little easy. We'll save that. Now we should get an exclamation point. Let's check the running of this application. Our first option that we can use is the get function URL. We can copy this and paste it over here, or I've already pasted it. And we can see that if you just paste it in there, we do not have a name parameter specified. And the result is just as we described. It will prompt you to pass a name on the query string or in the request body. When you use the query, a response, and with our updated code, we see the punctuation. From inside the portal, you can do some testing directly from your function. Over on the right-hand side, expand the View Files and Test. Click on Test, and we'll remove this parameter, and we'll just leave this name Azure in the request body. Click Run, and we see the output. That the output was a 200 code. Everything is working, and it says hello, Azure. Now, if we use a request body and a parameter, we can set the name of the parameter to name, and the value will be Michael. We'll run this again and look at the output, which is hello, Michael. Now, there's no error here that we've used both, because in the code, we did specify exactly what we wanted to happen. First, what we can better clear this area a little bit. First, we check to see if it's got a parameter. And if it does not have a parameter, then we check the request body. So we provided both. It only checked the query. It never got to the request body, and it output just what we expect it to do. Let's take a look at Visual Studio, where I've got a console app waiting to test this very function. In this console app, we're going to be using the systemnet HTTP as well as system threading tasks. I mentioned that the tasks was an important aspect of the function, and that is because we're going to be using system threading tasks in our console app so that we can take advantage of those task returns. Here's our function, and we'll be expecting a result back of type task. This console app is going to be calling a function called process packed Azure function, taking just a string and providing that string value in the query. The console app itself is very simple. We're just going to use a do-while loop to ask for a name, call the function, wait for the function, and when the function returns, we'll try it again. If the entry is empty, then we'll exit. Provide a name, it requests. We've even got our punctuation set the way we had it. And that is editing and using and testing an Azure function. In this section, we learned about signing up for an Azure free trial subscription. We got signed up and signed in and created an Azure function, storage accounts, and we even added code to an Azure function and tested it from both the portal and from a console application. In the next section, I'm going to show you more about how you can customize your serverless application.